hit him with that flavor.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now.
That's
See
right.
a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy.
Real slick.
I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got... Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. Also, thanks to those of you tuned in on the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your Sunday Vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channels or unsubscribe. But if you do subscribe, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur. Also on Twitter at DGoddess27 and TikTok at Dr. A. Shakur. Okay, so let's get into it. Hello, Hundia. Desmond's in the house. Byron B. Kenyetta, Mr. Hotel. All right. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. Okay, hey, Mickey Bricks, Nessie X. Williams in the house. Pearly, Mia Lynn. Okay, D. Griffin, Sheila Fields. All right, Buckhorse DC is in the house. Silent D. Dr. K. Sampson, Tania. Okay, Lamar, I see you, beloved. Ishmael. Okay, so let's get into it. Shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. Listen, I don't want to be on here all night because Taharka is going live tonight with the receipts at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, okay? So I'm just going to segue on into that. What I'm going to be doing tonight is showing you a history of agent behavior. Now, I'm not going to show all receipts because there's too many to show in this time that I have, in an hour and a half. But I'm going to be bringing up some things that I've already shown you that you've already seen, but to refresh in your memory. And for those of you who missed it, this may be your first time seeing some of these things. So let's get into it without further ado. Everyone, please get the likes up. Please go ahead and like and share. Y'all know they have the Queen Shadow Band. All right. They have the Queen Shadow Band. So let's get into it. And the first thing I want to talk about is this. I've told you all before that these people that are, these government informants, these so-called agents of chaos or whatever you choose to call them, they are not original or authentic. They copy things from elsewhere all the time. Okay? Now, I'm not saying Bussy Rick is 100% an agent, but I absolutely believe that he's 100% an agent. I'll say that much. But let's talk about Grandmaster Jay. You see, Grandmaster Jay had some things in common with Bussy Rick. You may remember that we all found out that in fact Grandmaster Jay actually ran for president 2016. And not only that, he actually sat behind Trump at a rally. And in fact, Bussy Rick was the one who showed that receipt. Now, here's the thing. We also know that Bussy Rick himself talked about running for political office. Do you all remember that? One's in the chat for those of you who remember that Bussy Rick himself said something about running for political office. He did say, however, that he may not run or wouldn't run because they would likely dig up his old mugshot. Do you all remember that? How he said he wouldn't run because they might dig up his old mugshot. Got ones in the chat. Okay. Yep. Ones in the chat. People do remember. Okay. So I'm not crazy. He clearly said it. And then and Marcel said he would back him. Yes, he absolutely did say that. And so I want you to pay attention to that, because here's the thing. The same person telling people not to vote is a person who would later want their votes. Someone who had the idea of running for a political office. I just want y'all to pay attention. That's hypocrisy, and that's contradictory within itself. Okay? But as I said, these people that are suspected agents, they always have things that they copy from other places. For example, Grandmaster Jay, his so-called real name, at least the one that they put out there for him, is John Fitzgerald Johnson. John Fitzgerald Johnson. That sounds like John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Okay, pay attention. His name, Grandmaster Jay, sounds like Grandmaster Jam. All right? I'm just saying they always copy things. And even the name of his so-called black militia, the Not Effing Around Coalition, which was initially called the Not Effing Around Crew. Do you all know that he actually copied that? Well, I have the receipts. He actually copied that. Grandmaster Jay did. I just want y'all to pay attention, because many of these so-called agents, or these suspected agents, shall I say, they do the same exact things. Hold on. Let me pull up this receipt so you all can hear this. I'm not going to show it on the screen because this is part of a movie, but I'm going to let you all hear this. Okay. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Here it is right here. Now I want you all to listen to this brief clip. This is from a movie starring Ben Affleck. It's about bank robbers, and it's called The Town. For any of you who saw that movie, you know that the FBI was pursuing them because they were robbing all these banks. But here's what the FBI agent said in one part of the movie. Okay, listen to this.
I took a really cute photo at home one
Likes
time,
up, everyone. Please like and share.
Piece of the kitchen counter fumbled, but with the magic eraser, you can just make a little circle on that dent and it'll erase. My name is Sheena, and I have a Google Pixel.
Here we go. Whoops, hold on. Hold on, I accidentally clicked off of it. Okay.
You print the inside of the van?
Bro, the inside of the van is a volcano.
Just find something and make it look like something that looks like a print. We don't have enough for a conviction, fine. But I need to get them in a room. Right now, they are burning the money bands in some bullshit safe house. All their alibis were paid for a week in advance. We're not going to pull any DNA off of this or off the switch car. And that, as they say, is that. This is the not fucking around crew. So find me something that looks like a print so I can grab one of these assholes and shake their tree, because this not fucking around thing is about to go both ways.
Okay, you all heard that. He said, this is the not effing around crew. That's where Grandmaster Jay got that. Okay, from the movie called The Town, about the bank robbers. All right, that's where he got that from. The not effing around crew. See, when he first called them that, I said, this sounds familiar. I've heard this somewhere before. And that's where I heard it. So again, like I say, they always copy things from elsewhere. This is what these suspected agents do. Now, let me just show you this, because Bussy Rick also copied several things. Pay attention. There's one thing that he copied. You see that? The FBA flag. Well, it looks a whole lot like this one. All right. It looks a whole lot like that one. But also, hold on. So does this. Okay. This is the Chinese flag and the old Russian flag. Now you see the stars are the same, the two axes crossing, just like this sickle and this instrument here. Okay, all very similar. So even his flags. But hold on, there was another. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Here it is. Let me send this to my emails real quick so I can share this on the screen also. But like I said, they always are copying things from elsewhere. Now let's talk about this, some of the lies that he has told. Now we know that recently, when he claimed that he slapped or smacked Taharka, right? He said that he was afraid, because Taharka flew from Baltimore and came to do something to him and showed up at the museum with a gun. What you should ask yourselves is, how did Taharka fly from Baltimore with a gun? Do they let us bring guns on planes these days? I have questions. How did he get a gun in his possession if he flew from Baltimore? And don't forget that he did have a body camera, which we know, and he said that himself. So you had a body camera and a gun, and you're going to incriminate yourself by recording the whole thing? Well, of course not. That makes no sense. But also remember that Tariq said that Taharka posted a picture of him in a coffin like he was dead on social media. And then I reminded you how D. Tubman, likely at Tariq's behest, posted a picture of Taharka as though he were dead prior to the video or the picture that Taharka posted. But in the picture Taharka posted, Tariq was not dead in a coffin. Here's the picture right here. That's the picture he posted. Does he look dead to any of you? Does he look dead to any of you? He was raised up out of the coffin talking trash. That's what the meme was about. It wasn't about him being depicted as dead. Here is the picture of Taharka that D. Tubman, his own, Tariq's own moderator, posted. Y'all want to see a dead body? Now that's a threat, okay? Because the day that I saw that, I actually screenshotted and sent it to Taharka, and I said, I take this as a threat, okay? I take that as a threat. And so at the end of the day, Tariq is just painting narratives. But hold on. Let's just go to some of the other information that has been dropped on him. And let's talk about all these people that are exposing him. Okay, let's talk about that, because his minions want to say that certain people are haters and all this and that and agents of chaos. They show no basis for their claims. They show no proof, evidence, or receipts of anything that would lead one to think that the people exposing him are in fact agents of chaos. And I find it also interesting because you see, Tariq went and tried to file restraining orders on two different people. He tried to file restraining orders, but if the things that all of us were saying about him were not true, why didn't he just file a defamation lawsuit like Taharka did on him? Why didn't he say that we're all lying about the stuff we're saying? He didn't say any of that. And that's because it's true. Okay, I just want you to pay attention. His minions can say whatever. They can't explain why he isn't trying to sue somebody for slander. I mean, he did say that he's taking out cases on all these Negroes. That's what he said, right? Hold on. Let me see which one of these I want to pull up first. Okay, here it is. Let's pull this up. I'm going to share my screen. Let me see where I need to start this at. Here we go.
This, my friends, is called buck babbling.
Get a restraining order, and the tenant's name, the woman's name was on the order. It was really for them, but I had to put my name on and say, yeah, I'm scared of the nigga too. Yeah, but I don't want him around these women. So the judge basically, after all the stuff we went through in court, the judge was like, well, look, you named...
Tariq! I'm so confused, Tariq. You mean to tell me that the super pro-black king of FBA himself is out here filing restraining orders against another black man on behalf of some Mexican hoes? Oh, it's my tenant. Wait a minute. You're filing a restraining order for a tenant that is about to be gone because you need to open up the Hidden History Museum in February. We got the transcripts. This guy has been exposed.
Okay. So he said that he basically lied, said that he wasn't really afraid of Brandon, that he was filing it for the female tenants. Those female tenants were no longer even in the building when he went to court. Okay. Just days ago. But here's the thing. What was his excuse for filing or trying to file a restraining order against the natives? No religion. Okay, remember that guy? So let's pull that up. Okay, here we go.
Political stuff. He's announcing this stuff on Twitter, so it's only logical that someone from the LA area would go there to investigate what's going on when this guy's basically calling black people to action due to this so-called vandalism of the building. Why wouldn't journalists from the area go to see what's going on with that situation? And exactly. I never knocked on the door. The people came out and was like, "Hi, can I help you?" They're real estate agents. Also, there are pictures of real estate listings on the window. So it would be totally normal for someone to walk up and look at those listings. They have them there for a reason. So it's a public space that operates, interacts with the public. So I don't think he has a case on any of that. Plus, obviously, I didn't vandalize his place.
He's a public figure. People stand in front of Justin Bieber's house all the time. Nothing happens. No one gets taken to court. So yeah,
exactly.
He's gonna lose.
So tell me about the crying. Tell me about the crying. He was crying in court.
Well,
tell me about that.
For everything that I was accused of, the lawyer made sure to lay it on thick and ask him, how everything that I allegedly did made him feel. And he said, "Oh, I'm terrified of Richard Bautista. I am mortified of Richard Bautista. I'm scared. I'm scared to come out of my house. That's why I didn't show up to court. That's why I did the Zoom thing and the phone call thing, because I feel like I'm going to be ambushed if I walk out of my house. I think this person wants to shoot me." And he just kept saying he was scared.
Yeah, but the guy talks so tough on the internet, but then he's like, "I'm mortified." And anybody could tell that you guys weren't there to physically accost Tariq, even at the Power 106 because he announced he wasn't even going to be there, and you still showed up. So we know that was BS. But his lawyer was able to basically cross-examine him?
Yeah, in front of the judge, for like a good 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, wow. So the lawyer was just like, "Yo, why do you feel scared of this guy?" and all that. And the judge is just sitting there listening to Tariq. And did the judge seem to believe anything Tariq was saying?
The judge was extremely annoyed and just kept asking if they were done yet, pretty much.
That's it. So the judge, go ahead.
And I mean, every time they said something, I didn't want to be rude and just be like, "Oh, objection, hearsay," or whatever. I just let them talk, and I just let them say everything they needed to say. But for every accusation, I started pulling up my own exhibits that I provided, his lawyer. And I by the time they were done talking, I had the whole desk full of my exhibits, just ready to talk. So by the time it was my turn to say something, the judge literally looked at me and said, "I don't need to hear from you, sir."
He just knew it was bogus.
Yeah. I don't find sufficient evidence, to place this restraining order. This is what happens when you have activists or public figures kind of go at it. So case dismissed. And I was just like, bye.
Right, because I think the judge is wise enough to know, okay, this guy has a YouTube channel. Like in our case, he has a YouTube channel. I look at it. There's a shitload of videos on there about all types of stuff with black people. This guy has a YouTube channel. I got the number one exhibit I need, which is Tariq bashing me publicly, doxing me on his channel, Brandon Tucker in Long Beach. I have that clip. I actually ripped it down off of his page. So if the judge asks me, I'm going to say, look, Tariq goes at me. He says all this stuff because I investigate the things that he lies about on the internet. I actually investigate all grifters And of course, they're going to try to use legal action to protect their grift. I'm not there to establish criminality of it, but just to say I have my First Amendment right, I have my Second Amendment right, I have all my rights, and you can't strip me of my rights because this guy wants to run scams in our community. We have a right to defend, the best interests of our community, to operate in the best interest.
That's right. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Did he not make a whole ass cartoon and base it on you?
3 episodes. And in the clip he had that I played, which I've already ripped that down too. I already have that in my little archive. He said, "Oh, Bucci's tripping," so he admits that Bucci is me. He's admitted that several times. And I also have a video of my entire interaction at the building. It's on video. It's a video record of it, so the judge can see.
Didn't he prophesy, so to speak, that you'd do something to that museum anyway?
He foreshadowed. He tried to foreshadow that. But this is all culminating in one thing. Tariq is not going to give up that good money he's making from those tenants to open a bullshit museum and not make any money, which he might not even get zoned for a museum right there because there's nowhere to park, right? Other than the pawn shop's parking lot. So this is rather entertaining. Ha 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 ha. But that's hell no. I've never even seen Tariq. I saw Tariq 10 years ago, the last time I saw him, and I haven't interacted with him all. Why would I would never threaten this idiot. I don't have any intentions to do anything to him. And I admit that publicly all the time.
Now, there you have Brandon saying that he never threatened Tariq, which he never did. And he admitted publicly that he would not do anything to him. So this whole thing about this restraining order that he tried to get against Brandon and against No Religion, that was just all bogus to get them to shut up. That's all it was, to get them to shut up, because neither of them had threatened him at any point. Now, with No Religion, I do believe that he was trying to say, Tariq, that he was trying to establish the fact that No Religion and people that he deals with vandalized the museum. But if you're going to go to court to try to file a restraining order because of something like that, you have to have proof that this was actually done. He did not show any camera footage. He did not file a police report. Okay, he didn't file anything with insurance because, and how do we know? Well, because if he filed something with insurance, he would have had to show proof that there was a police report. Okay, and so here's the fake vandalism. And this is what he said: the same anti-Black organization that posted hate crime signs near my home vandalized my museum building in Los Angeles this morning. First of all, how does he know what time they did it? Because if you remember, he was very specific. He said that this happened at 2 a.m. in the morning. Now, how would he know what time of morning this happened at? Most people are asleep at 2 a.m. in the morning. How did he know specifically with such detail that it was 2 a.m. in the morning when this happened? And also, as you can see from the photos, those were clearly sheets that had spray paint on them. How does that even equate anywhere close to a building being vandalized? But hold on, let me pull up this receipt also. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I just want you all to hear this because some of you may have missed it.
Around him and all this stuff, right? Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's make it really big. So this is what this dude has done. These are the registered actions. This guy went into that courtroom and told them that he fears that I am going to do violence to him. He used his real name. That's it. Tariq changed his legal name to Tariq. But that dude said he's in fear of his life, that I'm going to do violence to him, bro. And everybody on here knows I have never made a threat of doing anything to Tariq. I personally don't even care what Tariq's doing. But what I'm saying is, this is what I'm telling you guys, right? And what he's citing is, when I went to the protest at Power 106, which we all know Tariq wasn't going to be there because he was lying, saying he had COVID, so he couldn't pull up, right? They did this shit like 5 times, right? Now the dude said I'm going to do, but here's the good thing. So when he filed it on 11/7, right? They literally denied that the next day. They literally denied that the next day, which means he wasn't able to produce proof that I actually was threatening him or doing anything. There's nothing on the internet that can show that I was actually threatening Tariq. I never threatened him. And that's what you would think. You would think he was going after me for defamation of character. He's lying on me. He's lying on me, saying I did this, I did that. That's what me and the lawyer was saying. We were like, why isn't he going after me for defamation? Why is he going after me for what Cardi B went after Tasha K on? He's not doing that. Let me show you what this dude is doing, which makes this extra malicious. And let me show you what makes this extra malicious, right? This guy is coming after me. So he went and filed this while I was in Africa, right? He did it himself. He didn't have an attorney. He just went into the courthouse and he tried to file this situation. He didn't file this for defamation. He didn't say, yo, this dude is lying on me. Okay, he didn't say this dude is lying on me about how much money I took for the Hidden History Museum. He didn't say this dude is lying on me about how much money I took for the More Us app. He didn't say this dude is lying on me about how much money I took for the Homes for Haiti. That's what Tariq is doing. He doesn't fear me. He doesn't feel like I'm gonna do anything to the Hidden History liquor store. He's trying to sneakily do shit without people knowing. So then if something does happen, he'll probably say, hey, yeah, come over here and meet me right here. And then if I go over there, I don't even know this dude been filed a restraining order on me. Boom, I'm gonna get arrested, right? He's trying to do malicious shit. The reason why Tariq is going after me is because I live near him. I'm in a vicinity to where I can double check and confirm the shit he's saying, whether he's lying or not, okay? I can confirm the stuff he said and whether he is lying or not.
He's been talking to the police. He's been talking. And I think he does that. He's a very unique individual because here's a guy who starts beef and pretends that he is the bully and the roughest, toughest nigga on the face of the earth, right? And then he tells him. It's like the biggest oxymoron and the biggest mind fucking trickery to the public. With, those that don't know think this guy's ill and he's tough. But when you look at it, he's fooled the world.
Because he, of course, now he has the lawyer to go and get it before a judge to see if they're going to grant the restraining order. Now, wasn't Tariq saying that I was the one who was going to be going to court trying to sue him and all this stuff? And this proves everything Tariq tries to accuse other people of doing, he's the one who's going to do that. He's doing everything he says. Oh, yeah, this guy's a suspected white supremacist. Oh, this guy's an anti-black white supremacist. No, you're doing the stuff you claim you're doing the stuff that you claim white supremacy is gonna do. We have the proof right there. And your stand. If Tariq had filed a suit against me for defamation, oh, this guy's lying on me. This guy is like disparaging my character. He's making up falsehoods about me. I would say, okay, cool. Let's take it to court. Let's take it to court. Let's prove it. Let's lay it all out. And I would never make another video about Tariq because everything would be open. Everyone would know exactly what this man did with their money. He won't ever do that because Tariq knows to file a defamation suit is suicide for him. That is social media suicide. If that guy gets in a courtroom and the judge says, okay, Mr. Nasheed, prove that I want to see a record. I want to see the funds the donations you collected. I want to see them itemized and accounted for, right? Because Tariq's not pulling this stuff through no nonprofit or nothing like that. He would not dare go in a courtroom and say, this person's lying on me and I have the records to prove it. Tariq would not dare go in a situation where he has to have a book like this with all the records of all the things he's done, where he has to have a folder like this with his tax records, his donation records, what he spent the money on with invoices, receipts, you know, itemized expense list. He will never do that because like we all know, he's getting you guys his money and he's blowing it on luxury items. I've been to that museum. Listen, I'm the reason Tariq bought that museum. And if you want to know, that is why Tariq is after me. Because Tariq is mad that I pressured him into actually delivering you guys something for the $2 million that you sent him, right? Tariq's running this lie, oh yeah, they sent me $1 million and I put $1 million on top of it. That's a lie. That's so he can try to, Tariq is lying saying he put $1 million on top of the $1 million y'all sent so he could low-key say, well, I put my money up too. He didn't. We saw the guy collected $1.8 million. I highly doubt that Tariq has $1 million to say, let me just throw out a museum. Come on, guys. Come on. The guy can't even produce a documentary for $80,000 on his own. But all of a sudden he put $1 million up? Come on. Tariq gets the money from y'all and then he goes and pays his taxes and his bills that are piling up because he doesn't have a 9-to-5 job. And he relies on this shit to support it. Let's be realistic, guys. Let's be realistic. This is Tariq saying, I have a right to fuck over black people. And if you come at me for doing that, fuck you. I'm going to use the white man to come down on you legally so that I can shut you up so I can keep on doing what I'm doing. Guys, remember, me and Tariq were on Twitter. We were going back and forth. I told Tariq, bro, just give us an invoice of the More Us app. Just show us where you paid these people $200K to all the money that you donated, where the money you collected went to the objective that you claimed that you were going to use it towards. Show it to the people. I don't got to show you shit. But if he tries to sue me for defamation, guess what? He will have to show somebody shit because he has to prove to the judge that I'm lying. So what does he do? He's like, nah, instead, I'm going to make up a malicious accusation that you're trying to do violence to me. And I'm going to go see if that shit can stick. He tried it himself. It got denied. Now he got a lawyer to try to push that shit through. No matter how much we disagree, I will never advocate for black people maliciously using the legal system against one another. This is the same legal system that was ruling for us to be lynched, redlining against us, taking things from us that we earned, giving us 40 acres and a mule, and then was used to take it back, right? This is the same legal system that found George Zimmerman innocent for the death of Trayvon Martin, that found the officer who killed Eric Garner innocent, found the officer who killed the girl down in Kentucky innocent. So you're gonna go, you are so against white supremacy and the anti-black white supremacists. You're so against them. You are so against them that you will try to maliciously lie and use them against a black man just like you, who has a family just like you. Tariq is the lowest form, he's the lowest life form on earth that exists among black people. A rat who will do anything to survive. A rat who will talk against the white man all day, but then try to use the white man to hurt his own black people. Why? Because we have the audacity to use rational thinking and logic. Because we have the audacity to demand, if you take $2 million out the community, the least you can do is show us some receipts. Black people, the number one group of people that scream about receipts. But when Tariq hold your ass for $2 million, all of a sudden the receipts don't matter.
Okay, so you all heard that. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, everything Brandon said is true. He's not going to sue anybody for defamation. He sat there and talked all that tough talk, talking about Taharka's not going to sue him. Oh, y'all really think he's going to sue me? He ain't going to sue me. Well, you're getting sued. The paperwork's already been filed, and we've already seen the paperwork. Those of us who follow Moorish World TV, we've already seen the documents. Okay? And for Sanchez, whoever Sanchez is, I don't even know who Sanchez is, but this is apparently a minion of Bussy Reeks, one of his apologists. They were talking about, he was saying that Taharka's an agent because he went to file a lawsuit and all this stuff. How can he say anything about Taharka filing a lawsuit when someone clearly slandered him, saying the most heinous thing you could likely say about a man, and calling him a sexual predator, a sexual offender, lying, okay? I would absolutely be filing a defamation, libel, and slander lawsuit as well. But here's the thing. Sanchez didn't say anything, didn't think it was anything wrong with Bussy Reek filing these or trying to file these restraining orders against not only Brandon, but No Religion. What about that? Where's the video footage of the vandalism at that museum? He was quick to get the footage of him trying to attack Taharka. He got that so quick. Do you all know? See, I've worked in security. I've told you all that numerous of times. When I was in college, I worked during security. So I know all about the footage and how long it takes to find certain timestamps when you're going through hours and hours of footage. It was less than an hour after Bussy Reek got online bragging that he had slapped the shite out of Taharka. It was less than an hour later that he posted the surveillance footage supposedly from the cameras at his museum. How did he get that footage so quickly? I mean, if the cameras are always rolling, which they would be more likely than not if they were actually, for security reasons, he would have had to go through hours of footage. He would have literally had to go through hours of footage to get to the timestamp for the footage that he was looking for that particular day and time. How do you do that in less than an hour? I'm here to tell you that you can't do that in less than an hour because I've had to do it. When I worked security, I had to go through footage and find certain things, and it took hours upon hours upon hours, okay? When you have these cameras constantly recording. So I find it very interesting. And also, if you notice with the camera, and Taharka's already shown this, that the camera, someone was actually controlling that camera. Okay, because the camera followed them. It panned all the way up the block. When you just have, regular surveillance, it's going to be videotaping right there in front of the building and different angles from the building when you have numerous cameras. Why was the camera moving and following him and Taharka up the block as he walked Taharka down so that he could attack him? And he attacked him or felt emboldened to do that or to try it because he had backup with security and police across the street. Who besides a whole thug that works with the police or with the federal government would be trying to attack someone with the police right across the street? But hold on, let me just show the footage. Hold on, before I get to that, let me pull this up. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Let me pull this up real quick. And then I got to show this footage that Taharka showed. Here we go. This is more footage from Brandon. Okay, this is from Brandon's show.
That there's nothing they could do. So what? Go to his quote unquote museum. My work here is done already. I stopped talking about Tariq when I went to Africa, then came back and saw he had put a restraining order on me. Taharka Bey had picked up the mantle and was talking about Tariq. I was done with his bullshit. I don't care about what he's doing. So I was already over it, and I had to just get back into it because he tried to put a restraining order on me. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, keep your foot on his neck, man. Don't settle or ease up, cause shit. I grew up with roaches, and if you know anything about roaches, nigga, you gotta kill them bitches for real. You can't just hit them one time.
You can't leave one antenna intact. They might send a signal to another roach.
Word.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Have a nice one. Go ahead, Yasmin.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about Tariq promoting his new grift, but I think it's crazy how he's he filed a restraining order on you, but he's calling you a snitch. Like you just can't make this stuff up.
Man, you cannot. You want, like, that's the whole thing. Like, just in this, what's happening, people should be able to see, yo, this dude is a con artist. Like, everything he tell us we can't do, everything he criticized other people for doing, he's literally doing it. And you know it's retaliation. And you know what that mean? That mean I hurt him. That mean the shit I did hurt his ass. And I'm happy to know that. I go to bed every night with a smile on my face, knowing that I was able to be a thorn in the side of this damn grifter. And he lost his 10. I'm glad he lost his damn 10. He deserved to lose his 10. He deserved to lose money so he could see how I feel when somebody do something that impacts you and it makes you lose money. I don't feel sorry for Tariq at all. Thank you, Yasmin. Golden Jaguar, the man who I should have had in court with me.
Yo, this shit is hilarious, man. I used to support Tariq for years. For years. And now I see what it is. Trust me, if Taharka Bey lived in California, Tariq could be filing restraining orders against him too.
Oh, facts.
That's a fact.
Man, and listen, also, I think somebody like Taharka Bey, that nigga might get excited because he loved doing research and presenting evidence and shit. He think he a lawyer already, shit. So he'll be happy, nigga. I'll go up in there. Hey, Taharka Bey will fry that dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Taharka Bey will fry that dude. My lawyer fried his ass, not barely even trying. Taharka Bey will cook this guy to a light crisp. You know, like. So,
I'm telling you, man. The next time y'all go to court, you can run it by your lawyer. Just say, I want to ask one question. If we required to tell the truth in this courtroom, I want to know what that man's birth name is, as it says on his birth certificate.
Facts.
Bottom line.
Hey, yeah. Who is it going to be against? Tariq Nasheed? This is what I'm asking the judge. So if you grant the restraining order, is it against Marcus Vincent Thomas or is it against Tariq Nasheed? Like, let me know that just to be clear. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask because he has two names and several aliases, and we don't even know this guy's real name. So
we don't. Yeah, we don't.
Right. So
now, with that all being said, how are you gonna call somebody a snitch when you tried to file a restraining order against them? How are you gonna say that Brandon ran from you after court when you were at court because you filed a restraining order against him? And let's talk about him lying and saying that he was trying to file it on behalf of the female tenants, because here's what an attorney said. Let me pull this up. Here is what an attorney said. I just want y'all to pay attention. I'm going to share my screen because I already told you all this myself last week. And I'm no attorney, but I did go to school for criminal justice. So I know a whole lot about the law, more than most. Okay. And so here it is right here. This is what it says. The question was asked, can I take out a restraining order for someone else who needs the help but is too afraid? Now, pay attention because Tariq said that he went to take out the restraining order for the tenants and that he just had to say that he was scared too. Okay. Well, if that's the case with Brandon, why did he also try to take out a restraining order with no religion? Why did he try to take one out on him? Was that for the tenants too? The lies just keep piling up. That's all I'm saying. Now, right here is what the attorney said, and this was posted April 23rd of 2010. The answer to the question by the attorney's name is E. Alexandra Golden. And this is what she said. She said, unfortunately, you can't get a restraining order for another person unless you are the person's guardian. Okay? However, here's what I want you to do. Call the state's Elder Protective Services hotline. Now, see, that's what I already told you all. That you can only get a restraining order for someone else if it's your child. Or if it is, in fact, an elderly person who may be disabled, may not have all of their cognitive skills, and you are taking care of them and someone threatens them bodily harm. And then you, as their guardian, would be able to do so. You can't just go and file a restraining order for someone because they're your tenants. Okay, you just can't do that. So that's all cap is what I'm saying. But here's the funny thing. None of his minions ever question him, but they have so many questions for me, Taharka, and anyone else, Brandon, who exposes him. Okay? They have so much to say about us. What are y'all doing? What are y'all building? Don't ask us what we're doing and what we're building. Why don't you go ask Bussy Reek what he's doing with all that money that he got for the Morris app and for Haiti? Why don't you go ask him about that? Why don't you go ask him why he didn't tell you all that he had tenants in that museum when he so-called purchased it? Why don't they ask him that? But you know what's interesting is now he posted something recently on social media saying that his ancestry traces back to Nigeria. So now is he going to get back on the Pan-Africanism road? Is that what he's going to do? Now is he going to backpedal again and go back to being a Pan-Africanist? I have questions. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Everyone please like and share. Now this is also where he copied that FBA flag from. And I've showed you all this before. I've shown you all this. Y'all see that? From the first Rainbow Coalition. Okay? Straight up swagger jacking and copying stuff. Just pay attention. The grift is serious. The people still want to believe the foolishness, but go right ahead to your detriment. Okay? Hold on. Now here's another panel conversation. I'm going to play the audio from this. Let me put something up on the screen. I'm not going to show this. I'm just going to play the audio. Everyone, please get those likes up. Please like and share. Okay, here we go. Let me get this queued. Okay, here we go.
I even called you, I think text you, and they even apologized about what happened on the channel.
Right.
And if you said, hey, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's just get in the ring. Right. I'm always quick, like, we can just get in the ring. I ain't got to follow with that. What's up? You know what I mean? We don't need no cameras or nothing. Because I want to know what happened. You know what I mean? So, but I would publicize something like that. I don't get it. I just think that for him it's publicity. I think it's just publicity for him.
Yeah, so go ahead, J Line. I'm going to get that room and then we'll close out in about 19 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And I'm thinking, like, you know, as far as, like, I feel like he's too old to be doing all this type of stuff. Tariq, not Nasheed. So my thing is that, you know, because I'm trying to think, you know, I came in, you know, later. So I'm thinking, what is all this drama between him and Pan-African about anyway? Huh? I mean, what is all this stuff about over the Adolf thing and Pan-African?
Is that again?
Well, yeah, and maybe I could speak to that. So, in my personal opinion, where we've tended to find with Tariq Nasheed is he is identity fluid, right? We know that there's a concept of being gender fluid, but he's identity fluid. When he first came out, he was making a claim that we were more. Then we were Native Americans, we were Aboriginals, we were Indigenous, and now it's for FBA. So I think that's one issue that we need to be cognizant of. I think the second issue is that I would argue that what Tariq Nasheed does is similar to what many in the Black conservative, most conservatives do here in America. They create a solution in search of a problem, and the solution that they have tends to always be rooted in them being able to make money out of it. Right. So what we tend to find is that he says that there's a problem, and then he has a product to sell. Now, I mean, I'm not against anyone being a hustler, creating products, being an industrialist, being a capitalist. Get your money through your thug bizzle. But if you are serious about someone engaging in actual work to help restore African people to their traditional greatness, then you have to question, okay, how is this really benefiting us? Or are we simply, of course, lining your bank account?
Yeah, I understand that, but I was trying to say what's the drama between him and Brandon, like how they distort, no?
Yeah, Dynish, you got a little more background on that?
On what?
On what happened? How did the beef between Brandon and
No, I guess Brandon has been kind of on Tariq's dome and, calling out Tariq. And then Brandon found out where the location of the museum was going to be. And he pulled up, took a video. This is going to be where the museum is going to be. And then Tariq went and filed a restraining order, which at first I thought was a joke because Tariq, pulled up on Tommy Sotomayor, how he's going to catch the fade with Umar Johnson. And so I'm thinking Tariq didn't do that, but he did. So, they had their first court date, which was about a month ago. Then they just had the second one on Friday, and Brandon won the court case. But like I said, what bothered me, and I was like, okay, we got to talk and have a conversation about this, was when Tariq approached Brandon with the two non-FBA bodyguards. And then accused Brandon of running when Tariq's the one that tried to file the restraining order.
Right.
And then goes on social media and pretty much calls Brandon a coward, and that why would I pull it up on you? You ran with his two non-FBA bodyguards next to him. So, that was that's I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me talk to Brandon. How about y'all just settle it like men in a ring? Because he's calling out your manhood. After he filed a restraining order against you. Because like I say, when somebody files a restraining order against you and you in that courtroom, you're playing the victim.
You have to make a compelling case as to why you believe this person is a potentially dangerous and would do you harm. Like, you have to state emphatically that I believe this person, if they are allowed to be in my presence, I believe they will seriously harm or try to kill me. You have to, and if you don't, you lose the case. But that's the basis of why you have it, how you get a restraining order. So,
and then even before all this happened, I even asked Brandon, "Hey, Brandon, how about you and Tariq just have a conversation and sit down and work things out?" You know what I mean? So,
So it seems like Brandon.
Because the thing is, J-Line, Tariq and FBA, they're always talking about how non-FBA are an FBA business, but then Tariq brings non-FBA into the business against FBA. So I'm like, all right, come on, that's a problem.
Right. You're not practicing what you're preaching. So
right. So
that you're being a hypocrite.
Yeah, because I know the history, because I know he came out with he was on MTV, made and stuff, and he had that Mac lessons and all this type of stuff. Somebody was on MTV made and teaching dudes how to do all that. But then I saw that he jumped on the bandwagon with the Hidden Color series, and he was like, "Oh yeah, African people and all this stuff," and showing all this type of stuff. Then I know it seems like he just jumps on wherever the thing is. Then the next thing you know, he's switching up all over the place. Then he's like, I think I saw some video where he was in Africa. Then as soon as that Black Panther movie came on, then he went on with bringing up this
I think that's a great point, Selassie. I think that's a great point.
Yeah. It just seemed like he just tried to look up for the next thing. Like he's not really trying to help the Black, people. I mean, in America, it seems like he just gets on the trend and tries to make money. And I think that's what Brandon's trying to. I guess he's trying to expose that. So it's kind of basically trying to say he's disingenuous or something like that. So.
Okay, so with that all being said, y'all heard it. He hops from one bandwagon to another. Why don't his minions ask him about that? How you go from being a Pan-Africanist to hating Africans and talking against them and spewing division. How you sit there and say that people that are non-FBA should not be in FBA business, but then you show up at court for your FBA business with two non-FBA bodyguards or agents, whatever they were. I just have a lot of questions. Okay, can anyone explain that? But hold on, here's footage from Neferkari T. Dessalines. Pay attention.
Today's going to be a quick video. We're going to be in and out. I just had to stop by and say and call it right now. I'm telling you right now, Tariq Nasheed is preparing his rebrand. I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now. I see the play. Apparently, Tariq Nasheed came to social media and he decided to share his results from Ancestry.com. And as you can see, take a look up on the screen. The majority of black Americans who can trace their roots back to North Carolina in the 1700s have ancestors from coastal West African countries along the Gulf of Guinea, including the Congo, Cameroon, Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, and the Ivory Coast. Now, no one is surprised. We already knew that. Tariq Nasheed, I guarantee he has a doppelganger walking around somewhere in West Africa. But the reason why I said that Tariq Nasheed is now preparing his rebrand, if you've been keeping up with Tariq for a while, then you know his brand flows in cycles, right? At first he came through, he was the pimp, the Mac, the dating coach, and then he became the amateur podcast radio host, and then he became the bootleg historian selling DVDs. And then he transitioned into the international Pan-Africanist, documenting and filming his travels all over the continent. And then he went on to make the 1804 movie. And then after that, he made the switch into his current incarnation, the xenophobic, patriotic American nationalist. And if you ask me my opinion, I think the most disastrous cycle that he's gone through is this latest one. This latest American nationalist, xenophobic, pro-America, anti-black immigrant image that he's been promoting all throughout social media. I even mentioned in the video that I dropped last week, I said that Tariq Nasheed way back in the day, he never had to leave the house with security guards. He never had to walk around with security guards. But lately, due to the fact that he's been making so many enemies and antagonizing so many different groups of people all over the world, truthfully, now Tariq Nasheed has put himself in a position where he can't even step outside his own house unless he got paid security guarding his person. Now Tariq Nasheed went from the street dude, the pimp, the Mac from way back in the day. Now he's running to court filing restraining orders on various content creators because he's scared to leave the house. He's watching his back. And last week on YouTube, there was a bit of a dust up between Tariq and Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. Shout out to Brandon. I covered that on my channel. And many people pointed out the fact that Tariq Nasheed's bodyguards weren't even black. And if you ask me, there was a reason for that. Because like I said, we all know Tariq Nasheed has been pushing so many false narratives, pushing xenophobia all throughout social media that he does not know who is friend or foe, who is an ally, who is an enemy. He might hire a black man as security, not knowing he's a black immigrant, or maybe the children of black immigrants, and then next thing you know, they set Tariq up. Tariq is paranoid and looking over his shoulder. That's why he's running down to the courthouse filing restraining orders. And if you ask me, it was intelligent of Tariq to hire non-black bodyguards because he doesn't know who is who. He doesn't know who's coming with positive energy and good intentions or who is coming with negativity and hatred in their heart. So now, in my opinion, the reason why he dropped this Ancestry.com test is because he's trying to ease up out that space, right? He's trying to get up out that corner. I think he's realizing that this current brand cycle is causing too many enemies, it's causing too much trouble, it's losing too much money, it's keeping him locked out of too many markets. And now, after 2 years, after 3-4 years of constantly hammering down, talking all types of xenophobic nonsense, resurrecting racist 19th century European rhetoric, and spreading false propaganda about black immigrant populations, just to now turn around and say that he can trace his ancestry back to Nigeria. He been going crazy on the Nigerians. He been going crazy on the Jamaicans too. And guess what? He traced his ancestry back to Ghana, just like the Jamaicans. Y'all remember when the Woman King movie came out and Tariq Nasheed hopped on social media and told y'all to boycott the Woman King? And now, look at that. He can trace his ancestry back to Benin, the ancestral homeland of the Dahomey Kingdom. A whole bunch of us can trace our ancestry back to that region in Benin, Togo. That's why.
So now it's so amazing that he has recently posted that his ancestry goes back to Ghana and Nigeria. What do you all make of that after he sowed all this division? You see, he is realizing that now that his grift is being exposed and people suspect him of being an agent, he knows that's not going to work. So now he's probably going to try to backtrack, just like they're saying. He's now probably going to start speaking in favor of Africans. I just want y'all to pay attention now that he's claiming that his ancestry tracked back to that. Isn't that something? Mr. Hotel said it makes perfect sense. Of course it does. Because he's being defeated. He's taking one L after another. He initially said that Brandon would file charges against him. But then he went and tried to file the restraining order against Brandon. Make that make sense. But he's supposed to be such a tough guy. He also tried to get one against no religion. So anyway, like I said, but let's talk about the Fed on the roof. Okay, I'm about to pull up that footage. The Fed on the roof. Here we go from Taharka's Live. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
My sister is turning 16. She's getting her license soon. So I'm on my laptop browsing.
Now, we're going all the way with this. And I'm going to tell you, it's expensive It costs a little bit of money, but we going all.
Let me scroll back.
Girl, I'm getting out of there. And you can take it how you want to. Now, somebody told them I was coming. Only a few people knew I was coming that day. So I already narrowed it down. I'm pretty sure my phone was pinged also. I'm pretty sure my phone was pinged. Now, before we go any further, this is the one that sinks the boat for all of you FBAs that think it's the real deal. For all of you FBAs that think it's the real deal. This is me in my video.
Like, this is it. I'm gonna walk out into the street and show y'all the level of it. I don't even care.
Look over my left shoulder. Look over my left shoulder. What do you see on the roof? What do you see on the roof? Somebody type it in. What do you see on the roof? I sound crazy? The hell you mean I sound crazy? What do you see on the roof?
Y'all see the man on the roof? Do y'all see the man on the roof over to Harker's left shoulder? Pay attention. Pay attention. Just like I told y'all, it was a whole setup, a honey trap, okay?
Look at this.
Look at him.
What do you see on the roof? There was no commotion out there. At this point, Tariq haven't even been out there. There was no commotion out there. Tariq hadn't even pulled up yet. If the feds was on the roof, somebody says cameras everywhere. It was feds on the roof. You're talking about you see a camera. It was feds on the roof at 9 in the morning. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It was the feds on the roof at 9 in the morning, waiting for me to pull up.
I told y'all that it was a whole setup. See, I told y'all. I said after Tariq came on there bragging, because here's what you need to pay attention to. These suspected agents have no problem with starting trouble in front of the police and making threats in front of the police. They have no problem. If you remember, Grandmaster Jay was down there at the All Eyes on Bree protest. And what did he say in front of everybody? And this was all caught on camera and shown over the news. He said that if they don't get justice, then they're going to come back and they're going to burn this MF down. That's what they said. That's what he said. They're going to burn it down. And the police didn't say anything. When he was on live talking about putting a mayor, kidnapping a mayor and his kids and throwing them in the trunk, the police didn't press charges. They didn't lock him up for terroristic threats. When he talked about deleting some of his own followers if he found out they were infiltrators, nobody said anything. Right there at the formation in Stone Mountain, I was there gathering footage. Now, he said right there in front of the police and everybody that he would delete some of those people if they were doing the wrong thing and they were working with the police. Grandmaster Jay, who was supposed to be so pro-black and such a revolutionary, why was he working with the police all the time? Why was he always working with the police? Did the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense ever coordinate with the police? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Hold on. Let me pull this up just to remind those of you who forgot. And then I'm going to show you something else from Taharka's Live. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
They are known as the NFAC, an armed all-black militia. You might have seen at protests in Georgia, Kentucky, and Washington, D.C. Their stated goal, to defend the black community by any means.
Fast forward.
Right here at home. This is the NFAC, an all-black militia with a mission to defend the black community by any means necessary.
So this is training for one of the new chapters.
Yes. Appearing by the hundreds at protests.
Now, this is what I want you all to pay attention to. I want you all to pay attention to the fact that they were at a private training place. This is somewhere where they privately trained. People did not know where this location was unless you were a member who went there to train. They allowed this Caucasian news reporter to know where that location was and to, in fact, come there and watch and record them training. Now, could you imagine the Black Panther Party for self-defense doing something like that? Could you imagine? That's like the work of an agent who's been told to do so by his handlers. I just want y'all to pay attention, but let me continue.
From Stone Mountain, Georgia to Louisville, Kentucky, demanding justice for police killings and countering what they believe is the threat of right-wing militias. It's a movement started in 2017 by this man, former musician and Army veteran John Grandmaster J. Johnson.
Is the movement growing?
By leaps and bounds.
We met with him outside of Cincinnati, where he says another new chapter is now in the works.
Hold on, I want you all to pay attention to something else. These so-called suspected agents always want media coverage. They always want media coverage. You would never see Huey P. Newton and the Black Panther Party for self-defense all up in the faces of the cameras, all over there doing interviews about what they were doing and why they were doing it. Okay, I just want y'all to pay attention because who else is always getting media coverage? Tariq was on Conan O'Brien. He was on Tucker Carlson. Okay, he had that sad, pathetic attempt at a debate with Jarrett Taylor. Okay, make it all make sense. Hold on, let me continue.
The NFAC stands for the Not Effing Around Coalition.
What's behind the name?
The NFAC was born out of the last 4 years under the Trump administration. The deterioration of racial relations in this country. It means that you're preparing yourselves to defend yourselves.
While the group style echoes the Black Panther Party of the 1960s, their goals are distinct, focusing on defense with the ultimate goal of a black ethno-state.
What makes us so different is that our goal is our own government, our own country, a place where we can determine our own future.
Is violence an option to reach your goals?
The United States was built on violence being an option. Violence should be the last option.
Extremism experts say the group is distinct from far-right militias.
They have not risen to the level of concern of, say, the 3%ers, the Oath Keepers. They have not engaged in violence. In fact, in most of their demonstrations, they have, in fact, coordinated their activities with police.
When you talk about January 6th.
Okay, that's what I wanted you all to hear. What did he say? He said they have, in fact, coordinated most of their formations or whatever with the police. With the police. Now, y'all think that's not agent behavior? Why would they be coordinating anything with the police? Make that make sense is all I'm saying. Okay? Make that make sense. And then doing all this media coverage, showing your hidden spots where you train and teach your people how to shoot guns and all of that. Who does that? Why would you be telling them everything that you're doing? That makes no sense. Why would you be making threats online? What kind of person comes online and admits to a crime like Tariq did? You would have to be a complete fool, or you would have to be a paid informant, i.e. an agent, or the police yourself. Why would you come online boldly admitting to a crime? I just slept an if out of Tahaka Bay. That's a whole assault. What if Taharka had filed criminal charges against him for that? Which I would have. I absolutely would have. I absolutely would have, had that been me. Okay, you already admitted to the crime, and then I would have sued him civilly. But that's just me. That's just me. But he comes on there in a whole clout chase and so eager to make himself look like he's Billy Badass. He comes on live and admits to a crime. And y'all don't think that's agent behavior? Y'all don't think that's suspicious? Filing restraining orders and then bragging saying you're going to have charges and cases on all these ninjas. That's not agent behavior. And I want y'all to pay attention to something else too. Now I'm going to show the close-up because I showed you all where the Fed was clearly on that roof. But I'm about to show you a close-up for anybody that had doubts. I'm about to show you a close-up so you can see it real good. Because there was definitely a federal agent on that roof. Let's get into it. I'm about to share my screen. I'm about to wrap this up because Taharka's going live at 10. Make sure you tune in and you don't want to miss this. I promise you, you don't.
And they don't take care of the woman. They're a simp. That's what you call a simp. You know what I mean? That's all it is. That's what you call a simp. But with that being said, family, tomorrow on the show, family, what we're going to talk about. Hold on. Let me share this with you real quick.
This is from last night's show.
What we're going to talk about tomorrow, let me blur it up a little bit for you first. Let me blur this up for you real quick. All right? Let me blur this up for you real quick. All right. I'm going to blur this up for you real quick. 1 second. All right. Give me 1 second, family. I want to see y'all in the building tomorrow, if you're able to, at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Because tomorrow, what we're going to talk about, if I can find this picture real quick, what we're going to talk about is something that everybody is going to be blown away about. I guarantee you. Give me 1 second. Everybody's going to be blown away about this. I'm looking for it right now. Anyway, I ain't got to look too much further. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Family, tomorrow we're going to talk about the guy on the roof. Here is he, right here. This is the guy on the roof. Right here. We zoomed in on him. We know that he is the folks. We know what that is in his hand. We know that he's working with Tariq. Allegedly. And we're going to break this all the way down tomorrow.
So y'all make sure y'all tune in. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tonight. Because when he's saying tomorrow, he's talking about tonight. Okay? Let me tell y'all something. That's why it is so smart. It was so smart and quick thinking on Taharka's behalf not to engage Bussy Reek. Okay? Bussy Reek swung at Taharka because he knew that somebody was on that roof. He knew that his bodyguards were across the street and so were the police. He knew that no matter what, if Taharka swung on him and beat his behind or whatever, he knew that Taharka was not going to come out on top if he had fallen for it. And this footage that we have seen that Tariq produced would have never been shown. The only thing that would have happened is he would have given his side of the story, and Taharka may not have lived to tell his side. Because why was that person on the roof? What were they going to do with that gun? What were they going to do with that gun? I think they were going to take him out. Okay? And they would have made up a reason to be justified. They would have said what Tariq is already saying, that Taharka flew all the way from Baltimore, came there to start something with Tariq, had a gun, because that's the lie that Tariq is telling. But hey, how do you get a gun from Baltimore on a plane to California? Why would you wear a body cam if you're going to do something harmful to someone? So you can record yourself? And for those fools who said that Taharka was an agent because he had on the body cam, let me tell y'all something. If we all don't know right now, by now, that it is imperative to wear a body cam when you're dealing with people like this, okay? Because at the end of the day, just imagine if Taharka didn't have on that body cam, we would never be able to see that footage of the federal agents on that roof. That's why we can see it all clear as day. That's right, Dumbstan. Exactly. Said clear as day. Yes. We could see it clear as day. So I tell you what, none of the minions of Bussy Reek can deny or dispute these facts. That's what they can't do. They can say whatever they want to say as far as insults are concerned, but they cannot dispute any of these receipts. We've all seen the footage. What do they have to say now? Mysteriously, they're quiet. Now they're quiet. They had so much to say days ago when they thought that Bussy Reek slapped Taharka. They had so much to say, calling Taharka a coward and all of that. But who's really the coward? Well, the coward is the person who goes and takes out or tries to file restraining orders against grown men when he is a grown man. The coward is the one who has to walk around with security, afraid to walk around by yourself, and you 6'5". Here's another thing I want you all to pay attention to. Tariq has said himself, Bussy Reek has said himself that he had drug charges or something like that. He also said that he wouldn't run for politics, though he wanted to, because they might pull up his criminal record or his mugshot. So here's the thing. If he's a convicted felon, which he's alluded to himself, why is it that he has posted video footage, or his moderator D. Tubman has posted video footage of him firing guns? How do you fire guns and post pictures and videos of you doing this if you're a so-called suspected convicted felon? I don't know if he's a convicted felon, but I suspect that he is, because he said something about drug charges and about having a mugshot. And I don't think he would be concerned about a mugshot of misdemeanor charges being pulled up if he was running for politics, because there's people in politics that have misdemeanor charges and they're still in politics. So it would be likely because there was something felonious on that record. So if you are a convicted felon, why would you be posting boldly video footage of you firing guns? Felons are not allowed to carry guns. Okay? More agent behavior as far as I'm concerned. That's all I'm saying. So with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning back in once again. Please like and share. Oh, you know what? No. Before I close out, let me let you all hear this. Hold on. Is this it right here? Yeah. Let me let you all hear this real quick. This is a Twitter space that Bussy Reek was in. And I want y'all to hear again how pen and paper roasted him. Okay, with facts. And then we'll close out.
Pen and paper.
Pen and paper. Let's hop on with pen and paper. What's up, pen and paper? Oh, pen and paper's been trolling a lot. What's up, pen and paper? Let's hear.
Yeah, I don't waste my time with people who steal from the Black community. I just want to know why the room is catering to this guy when he has stolen money from Black people, and I also want to know why he is derailing a reparations march, all because he couldn't turn in a permit the right way. So one, I don't know no grown-ass man who still uses a Yahoo email account as a business account, and I definitely don't know a grown-ass adult male who would use KFlex number 4 for life. Like, that's some MySpace shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's already like, he's already like debunked his own self. Like, I don't even know why anyone's taking him seriously. And number two, right? So we know he's a demagogue, right? We know he co-ops already existing movements and leeches onto them. And then he'll sit there and tell y'all, and y'all are asking him, how are y'all going to get reparations when he himself is not a reparations expert? Y'all, and then he's trolling y'all and telling y'all not to troll him back. So if he can dish it out, y'all can give it right back to him. Y'all do not have to baby this guy. He is no one. This is why we need to have a standard in the Black community, period. When anyone comes into the Black community and grifts, you get rid of that motherfucker. You shut him out and you choke him out. There's no way he should be given like any kind of mic or any way to explain or any way to rebrand so he can get more followers, because that's the only reason why he's here. He's here so he can get content for his YouTube and so he can convince his people that he's still the same person who can drag Africans. Don't give him that chance. And everyone's questioning him now. Everyone's like, man, if he's this guy who should know how to handle business, how come he can't send an email? All you got to do is hit reply. He couldn't even do that right. And not only that, if you look at the dates of the email, they're literally a month apart. If he really wanted to do this rally like he said he did, he would have followed proper protocol and get that shit done. The sad part is, right, is he kept saying how he had other people working for him. You mean all y'all motherfuckers can send an email correctly to get a rally done? And then not only that, once a brother who had good intentions to get it done gets it done, instead of having his people be like, all right, y'all, my dumb ass don't know how to spell, so I fucked up. I also don't know how to get a good email. I decided to use my MySpace email, so they didn't take me seriously, right? I also don't know how to write an email, because if you look at the format of the email, I am Tariq Nasheed is not how anyone with any common sense writes an email, but we'll let that slide, right? Because not everyone is on that level. But like he demonstrates every day, right? So the
Bad
thing
thing.
is once that happens, right, he should have told Rashad, you know, brother, you did what I couldn't. I got you. We're going to go ahead and follow your lead. No, instead, he so sees the doubt, right? He starts talking about, well, you know, family, the FBI's is why I couldn't send an email. And it's like, no, it wasn't. It was because your dumb ass didn't know
Well,
how
I
to
didn't
send
say
it correctly. And if you would have done it in a timely manner, you would have gotten permit like he demonstrated. Because what ended up happening is he posted these emails, right? And when people pointed out, like, bro, you didn't even send it to the right place, he deleted them. He deleted them. So if you look at his post now, he deleted them because he knew he fucked up. And instead of getting on mic and be, you know, someone of integrity and be like, you know what, y'all, I'm dyslexic. I fucked up. No, instead he's like, he's downing another Black American. So when he tells y'all like, oh, these Africans for us, look at his behavior. Who has been the number one obstructionist to reparations? There is no point in time, if you look at the history of reparations, which started off as a Pan-African movement, and if y'all know who Queen Mother Moore is, y'all will understand how we got here today. There is no point in time in which we tied immigration to reparations. It never happened. It wasn't until these grifters came along, sponsored by the far right, who then co-opted the movement. Why? To sow division in the Black community. Why? So that he can get people who used to be on the fence about reparations. Now you have people not even wanting reparations anymore. You got people questioning reparations. You got people fighting about reparations. You got people scheduling fights on the fucking streets in LA instead of scheduling time to meet up and strategize about.
Okay, I think we've heard enough. Now, y'all don't find any of this suspicious. And here's the thing. Let me say this in closing. For the fools who sat up there and said, oh, these people are agents of chaos, you know, I find it very interesting. I've shown you a myriad of receipts from a myriad of different people. And I did this a few weeks ago also. There's numerous of people going against him. There's numerous of people dropping receipts and exposing him. There's numerous of people saying that he's divisive and saying that they think he's an agent. There's numerous of people doing this. So do you think that all of these people are haters? Do you think that all of these people are agents of chaos? Do you have any proof that any of these people have done anything that makes them seem like an agent, has made any agent-like moves? You've heard the numerous inconsistencies in what Bussy Rick has said. You've heard the numerous of lies that he has told. He admitted that he went to court. This is out of his own mouth. He admitted that he went to court and he said, oh, I just had to act like I was afraid of him too. So you really weren't afraid of Brandon? He said he was trying to file it on behalf of his tenants who were not even there. If the tenant was afraid of Brandon, why did the tenant give Brandon her business card? Why didn't the tenant go and file it herself? No grown person in their right frame of mind that's in control of themselves needs anyone else to go and file a restraining order on them. That's ridiculous. And how do you just go to file a restraining order when you don't have any police reports? You see how it works is normally the person has harassed you, stalked you, threatened you, harmed you in some way physically or whatever, and then you go file police reports, and then you take those police reports into court and you show that they've been violent against you, that they've done things against you to harm you, and that's why you want a restraining order. You don't just walk into court asking for a restraining order when you don't have not a single police report, not a single video footage, evidence, or proof, or any type of receipt that the person has in fact threatened you or done harm to you. That's what you don't do. You know who does that? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Suspected agents do that. People who want to shut people up from exposing them. You may remember that Vicki Dillard Crow sent a cease and desist to me and Michi and Angel Love because we were exposing her, mainly me. I was exposing her with so many detrimental receipts. Okay, not just talk, but with actual receipts that could not be refuted. And she knew this, and she wanted me to stop. So she sent that cease and desist to try to get me to remove videos and to shut up. But I wouldn't shut up and I wouldn't remove videos. In fact, I kept talking and keep talking because I knew that everything I said was absolutely 100% true. I told no lies. But when you have told lies, you're not going to go file a defamation lawsuit because you know that when you get into court, you see in a civil case, you don't have to prove things beyond a shadow of a doubt. That's criminal court. But in a civil case, you only have to prove it beyond a preponderance of the evidence. So with that all being said, Tariq doesn't want to have to go to court and prove anything beyond a preponderance of the evidence, because he'd have to actually show that he was not a so-called agent if people were accusing him of that. He would have to show exactly what he did with that money that he collected for Haiti and the money that he collected for the Morris app. He'd have to show the receipts of all the money he collected for that museum and exactly what he did with it, and if that museum is in fact paid in full, or if he has a mortgage on it, and if he had tenants in there and all of that. He'd have to show all of that proof and evidence. He does not want to open up that can of worms. So instead, like Brandon said, he went and filed restraining orders to try to silence people. Okay, that's what he did. He went and filed restraining orders to try to shut people up because people were affecting his pockets by exposing his grift, and people were also blowing his cover. Okay, because if he is in fact Agent 007, that would be a good way to blow his cover, and then the feds don't need him anymore. Now, I'm not saying he is Agent 007, but I sure think that he's Agent 007. All right, pay attention to how I choose my words carefully. Okay, so with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning back in once again. Please like and share, subscribe to the channels if you have not done so already. Be sure to click the notification bells and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. And also keep this in mind. The video that I did the other day showing you all how all of these so-called people that Tariq claims to follow their teachings and all of that, how every last one of those people was absolutely for the liberation of Africans, and they also were Pan-Africanists, okay? Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, I forgot to mention her that day, but Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, there's video footage of her speaking for the liberation of Africans. Okay, so when he's sitting there trying to compare himself to these people, he should not do such, because at the end of the day, these people were absolutely in contrast, okay, or they were contrary to the ideology that he in fact promotes, which is divisive tactics, the same tactics as wanton supremacy. That's what agents do. Agents do the same thing as wanton supremacists. Agents spew the same racist rhetoric and foolish talking points as wanton supremacists. And I want you all to pay attention, because for all of these minions of his who want to sit there and try to defend his foolishness, these are the same people that will sit there and talk down on Candace Owens. How is he any different from Candace Owens? She spews the wanton supremacist talking points for them against Black people. He does the same exact thing. How is he any different from Al Sharpton? How is he any different from Roland Martin? How is he any different from Candace Owens? How is he any different than Stephen A. Smith? He was talking trash about Kanye too. Remember when Kanye was telling the truth? He was talking trash about Kanye. Did y'all remember that, or did y'all forget? He also was recently talking trash about Tyree Nichols. Said that Tyree Nichols loved white women and talked down on Black women. Well, doesn't he love white women, and didn't he talk down on Black women? Can he make it all make sense? I don't think he can. And so with that all being said, likes up, everyone. Please like and share, subscribe to the channels if you haven't done so already. Thank you in advance. Until next time, beloveds, I will talk to you all again soon.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another Black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is Black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a Black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me, cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my Black shoes by the Black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man to go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
Queen.
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of